So every once in a while, we have a bonus. Insert suspenseful music.
And I
You know-
didn't put on my bonus outfit.
I would
I'm
really love to see
unprepared.
what the bonus is. That you put on socks? Is that what happens?
Yeah, I got bonus socks that have little
Bonus.
party
Bonus.
horns and streamers on them.
Ooh, that sounds really festive.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
That's why I wish I would have known.
Now I feel like we have to offer that on tricycle-creative.com in our shop. Get your bonus socks.
Get your Tricycle branded bonus socks.
Bookmark this as something we need to do, Chris. Make bonus socks for people. So yeah, this I thought we're like 3 episodes in, and we haven't talked Twitter yet. I'm just going to be honest with you. We're going to rarely talk Twitter. That's
Fine by
just
me.
the way it. Here's the thing. In almost all the work I do with our clients, Twitter is the trickiest thing for them, and is oftentimes the one that I usually tell them to at least put on hold, if not completely eliminate at the beginning. Now, that is not to say that Twitter is not extremely powerful. That is not to say that Twitter is actually not kind of awesome, but Twitter is its own beast. And Twitter, much like Instagram and much like Facebook, has a different audience and a different way that you have to work with it. Twitter is conversational.
Twitter to me seems like if you're new to it, Twitter to me seems like walking into a large party full of people that you don't know and trying to insert yourself into a conversation that you were not invited to be in.
Oh. Wow. Once again, you've nailed it. I mean, it's so true. And but that is where, interestingly enough, the strength of it goes. Because if you can find those pockets where you can contribute, or they're like-minded or whatever, it's really a powerful tool. But it is not powerful at all if you're not. It's the most hungry. Whenever people want to start a new social account, I say that's another content mouth you have to feed. Twitter is by far the most hungry content mouth that you have to feed for it to pay dividends. You have to actively be, not just, I'm going to schedule a post here and there. You have to be like in the trenches. You have to like be in it, and engaging and responding to questions and taking questions. And I say this begrudgingly because it looks like now Tricycle is going to have to open up our Twitter account at Hello Tricycle. I want you, the listener, to have very low bar for what we're going to do there. But if you, or when you, use the Ask Tricycle hashtag on Twitter, I promise you we will be looking at all that. Or you can message us, tweet at us. That would be lovely. Give me a reason to go on it.
Right. Change our minds.
Please.
I personally, I've struggled with that. I would love to be an active Twitter user. I've tried it, and it just so far seems like it's not for me. But yeah, maybe I haven't found that little group conversation that wants me to participate. I don't know.
Do you want to know what my group is? My one group on Twitter?
What's that?
I'm at Ross Hero. Maybe that's a dangerous thing to put out there. Every Tuesday, I watch a show on a History Channel. It is called... What is it called? Oh, The Curse of Oak Island. This show is the worst. It's a whole thing about how there's treasure on this island, or maybe the Lost Ark, or maybe any treasure at all. And it's 10 seasons in, and they found like 1 coin and 1,000 pieces of crap parchment. Okay, but here's my community on Twitter. I live tweet usually while I watch that show.
The show that you hate.
The show that I hate, I live tweet during it, and it blows up my Twitter account.
Huh.
So if you go to my feed, you'll see it is all irrelevant tweets about Oak Island for the most part.
So are you the one guy tweeting about it?
No.
So there's like a whole crowd.
It's a whole crowd, and I'm the funniest of them.
Okay.
You're
the king of Oak Island.
Well, let's just say
You
I
are
am.
the treasure.
I provide the humorous treasure that is
The treasure
found
was
in Oak Island.
the treasure was in you all along.
Wow, it was. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to talk about Twitter in this bonus section, not about my Twitter habits, because I just told you all of them for the most part. Okay, so Twitter has launched. I got a whole slew of kind of some Twitter updates, and the reason again why we probably won't talk about Twitter that much is that Twitter kind of knows who it is, for better or worse, and like they don't seem to have this like world expansion agenda that Facebook has. They don't make a ton of like very big changes, technological leaps. Like in the past year, the biggest one is they doubled the character limit that you could do. You know, like, and that disaster or not, I don't know. It depends on who you ask. I don't know. But here are some things that Twitter is maybe working on or has launched. So first, they've launched a new insights tool, which is pretty cool. They have a new tool inside of that, or a piece inside of that called Timing is Everything. And what it does is it shows and it tells you the best day and time to publish tweets based on your user engagement. Sounds pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if I'm going to use it, I'd at least like to know when it's going to be most effective.
Totes my goats, as they say. The catch is, when I looked into this, you had to have 1,000 followers take advantage of this feature. So that's a catch there, is that you have to have, like I said, 1,000 followers to take advantage of that. Maybe they'll roll it out more than that. Now, here's the other thing I want to say. I actually say this a lot during our workshops too. I heard you're a football person, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk sports this time, not the court again, if I may. Okay. So I was watching Monday night or maybe Thursday night. I think it was Monday Night Football. And Booger McFarland. Are you familiar with this gentleman?
I don't know that I know that name.
He was a sideline reporter, and they put him on like a crane on the sideline, and he'd drive the crane around, and he did commentary too. But at one point, they were talking about analytics, and he said something to the effect of, data is like a bikini. It shows you some things, but not all things. And it is my absolute favorite saying to pull out when we talk about analytics and data, because even if you have 1,000 followers and you see this, right, this is only part of the picture. I think if you hitch your wagon to only tweeting during those days and times, you know, you kind of, I don't know. I think if you get so hung up on that kind of thing that it's kind of losing the spirit, if you will, of it. It's not to say don't be thoughtful of it, but I think don't like be obsessed with that, you know? So
yeah,
take that away. That's a takeaway for you. Yeah. Now, here's some other things that it appears Facebook is testing in its iOS app. So again, similarly to our Instagram story from show 3, someone was probably tinkering around with the code, or sometimes they push these features out to, you know, a certain percentage of users to test them. So Twitter improved night mode. Which do you use any apps where they like auto night mode on you?
Yeah, I think I've got a night mode on Reddit.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, so for sure.
One thing that it looks like they're working on that, encrypted direct messages. You know, a lot of stuff gets blown up on Twitter, so that could, you know, encryption is always better than non-encryption, I would suppose. Here's one that I will abuse: GIF reactions.
Oh, you love a GIF reaction.
All I do is post GIFs on Twitter. Also, spoiler alert. That's all I do, and that's probably what Tricycle at Hello Tricycle is going to do too. Sorry, but that's what's going to happen. Because that's what I'm going to direct. A GIF, it's like a picture. Like if a picture can say 1,000 words, a GIF says like 10,000 words.
A GIF is like a gift without the T.
Yes, exactly. That is how they came up with the name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to fact check that. The other thing, I like this one a lot. So on the side navigation bar, like a friends, which I would assume you add people to. So it's kind of like using lists, which if you do use lists, here's a pro tip. If you are kind of tinkering on Twitter, utilizing lists is a game changer. It's time consuming though, but putting people on lists and then looking at the list separately, it can change your life on Twitter. But I think this would be one you could say, oh, these are my friends. Or I think that's good because I definitely have like there's people I follow who are like my friend, people I know. And then 98% of the rest of my followers who I don't know from a hole in the wall.
Right. I don't want to go and have to search through my timeline to find you. I don't want to have
Yeah.
search bar and type in your name. I could just, there you are. What's Ross doing?
I mean, if you already don't have a friends list, maybe that will be something that's a little bit smarter. But to say, hey, these are actual people I know, So, and then there was something here they're talking about kind of this like drag and drop interface, which looks like some sort of built-in thing where you could kind of like drag and drop a tweet into a tweet. So if you're quoting someone or something, I don't know if that would work on mobile, but they probably would optimize it for mobile. Twitter's obviously big on working mobile kind of first.
Yeah, I would imagine that's the most used method.
Yeah. So those are, those are that was the Twitter Palooza bonus segment. Do you feel like a better person now, Twitter wise? Let me put it this way. Do you have a Twitter account? You do, right? You don't have to say, it's okay.
I do. I have not been on my personal Twitter account in quite some time. And I, for a while, was manning the Possum Posse Twitter account, which I still do from time to time. But it's funny. I used to get decent engagement when I was active on it.
Yes,
but it took so much effort that I was like,
so much effort.
Yeah, when I missed a day, it was like I can't jump back in. Like it's like getting off of a merry-go-round and trying to jump back on it while it's in motion.
If you are willing to put in the effort, Twitter can be gold. It really can be. But it is, like I said, by far the most intense and needy of the social marketing platforms.
It's also I feel like it to me at least, it felt like there was pressure to put out good stuff, because otherwise you're just talking and everybody's like, who's this guy? Why is this guy talking?
No, you're right. It does feel there's nothing lonelier. I think there's nothing lonelier than a tweet released into the tweetosphere.
If a tweet
that no one
tweeted, no one's around to hear.
And no one retweets it. Have you really tweeted? Or responds, for that matter.
Which
have
really,
you really tweeted?
I feel like that emptiness of social media might make a good topic on its own.
Yeah.
Another episode.
For sure. Well, there's absolutely some terrifying science behind the feeling and obsession you get of seeing likes, like the brain chemistry of people liking a post.
Oh, it's like gambling or something. I mean,
yeah, it is absolutely troubling. And it's the feeling that I want you, the listener, to have when you listen to Tripod, the Tricycle Creative Podcast. I want you to feel like this is a rush of dopamine to your ear holes. As Chris said, what was the saying, Chris?
The head is an instrument and it has many holes.
We would love, you know what? I'm not going to say it.
Talk about us. Hear us. Talk about us. Smell us.
Tripod, a Tricycle Creative Podcast. Hear us, smell us, talk about us. See you next time.